Hello, this demonstration is for your wire tree project. And on this one, I want to show you first off, again, just emphasizing that there are two different ways you can kind of do this project. So for example, on this one right here, you can kind of see it pretty good. This is more of a traditional way of doing it, where you can see this directly all the way around. You could set this like on a table, you could set it on a shelf. It's completely three-dimensional, and this is the direction you could go with it. But you do have to bring in something you can put it on. This young lady brought in a rock. We were able to try to get it as tight to that rock as we could, and then we poured kind of like an epoxy over the whole thing, and it caught in enough spots that that it worked out pretty good. There are several things you could bring in, so you just have to decide on what that is going to be. Okay, another way. This one is a flat piece. So this one was a frame, but again, it's still sculptural because it's flat on one side and then it still bushes out on the other side. And then we were able to just kind of drill some holes into those spots here to keep this tree, basically pretty tight where it's at. So these are the two directions that you can kind of go with the project. In either case, you start off the same. So you're going to grab some wire. So we have this large spool of wire that we use for this. And so I'm going to get my 5 wire pieces out, and they are going to be 30 inches long. And you need 5 of them. So you're going to go all the way out to the end of the yardstick, come over, find 30. And you don't have to be perfect with it. It should be close, but you don't have to, if you're off like a 1/4 inch, something like that, it's not going to matter. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut 5 of these, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, the next step is to take a X-Acto blade that I have right here, and you need to strip the wire down. When you strip the wire down, that exposes all the bare wire in there, and that's what we make the tree on. So big thing is like you always go away from yourself, and you just kind of have to try to see if you can find kind of a sweet spot. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to do like a counter curl on that. Sometimes it makes it a little bit easier to cut. But I'm going to start right here, and then I'm going to, once I hit that metal, I'm going to try to flatten that out. And I go up all the way. Grab the insulation, and there's already quite a bit right there. Now this is a 10 gauge wire. It's braided, which means that there's like, gosh, how many are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like 15 different strands of wire inside this one right here. And that's what ends up being your branches on that. So I'm gonna pause this, and I'm gonna switch this over to a time-lapse video, and then get all these stripped. Okay, thank you. Okay, now that I have my 5 30-inch strands cut, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can go to the next step. So I'm going to take this cylinder. It's a real heavy duty, it's not a toilet paper roll, but that's what I was kind of thinking about it right now, is I use, I get a shrink wrap in these, and this is kind of like a full one right here. So I just took that off. We're going to use this, and I'm going to fold these in half. So I kind of know where the middle is at on these. Notice I'm not like doing a major crease on it. I'm just trying to get a good idea of where the middle is going to be, because I need to be able to wrap that around this thing. It makes it a lot easier for you to actually wrap and create this bottom part of your tree, which is going to be the root system. Okay, so I got one more. Okay, so I have them all marked. I'm going to pick them all up. There are all 5 of them. Next is I'm going to put them over top of this. and keep that line the best that I can. Okay, so it looks just like this. Next is I'm going to take this area right here and I'm going to twist it. So get that a little more separated, and I'm going to come around like that and twist. Now I do want to keep this somewhat long, so I don't want to, go in layered on top of each other, but I want to have, a decent sized trunk as I'm bringing this up. And you can really get this nice and tight when I keep holding this end tight and this end tight, and just keep bringing this up. And that's probably enough for my tree part. So I'm going to pull this off, and this part right down here is going to be the trunk. But I'm not going to cut it right now. I'm just going to kind of keep that as is. Next part is the part that takes the longest. Is I'm going to undo a little bit of this, and I'm going to start dividing this up into groups of like 2 and 3. So I got a 2 here, I got a 3 right here, and I got a 3 on this side. Once you have that, sometimes you want to kind of bring it down just a little bit, because you think about how trees, they don't all bushy on the very top, but you might have a little bit of a lower branch. So I'm going to bring that over, set all this stuff on the side. I'm just going to focus on this branch right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist, and I'm going to bring this up. Now remember, you're trying to twist them together. You're not trying to twist one around the other one. There's a definite difference on that. So I have that done. So now I have kind of my large trunk here, my first major thick branch, and I'm going to go up maybe a couple more times. But now I'm going to split this and undo all these little pieces, okay? And I'm going to kind of keep them in half. I'm not going to count them. Well, maybe I will. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12. So I need 6 on both sides. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not right. How many do we got here total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I mean, there's got to be 20. I don't know why you'd end at 19. So I'm going to have about 10 on both sides. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so I have that split. And I'm going to take this one, I'm just going to bend it around, so I'm not going to pay attention to that right now. So now I have this 10 and that 10. So I'm going to take this 10, try to make sure we're not twisting over into each other, so everything's kind of straight. Kind of divide, I'm going to kind of go here. So I have this 10 and this 10, and I'm going to twist this up. So it's always just about splitting in half, going up a little bit, splitting in half, going up a little bit, splitting it in half. Now I'm going to look at this one, split this in half again. And I twist this. Again, you're trying not to twist one on top of the other, but they twist together. And then I'm going to come up again. So I've got 4 on one side, 4 on the other side. Coming down to it though. So 2 on one side, 2 on the other side. And again, I twist this. Keep them nice and tight as you do it. Come up here, grab these. Keep these nice and tight. Come back over. Leave these alone. You don't want to give your tree, oops, sorry about that. You don't want to give your tree a haircut yet. You kind of do that kind of at the very, very end. But I want to keep going around. I want to hit this side. So again, I'm going to divide this in half. I'm going to twist these two together, go up, I don't know, about an inch, inch and a half, and then I'm gonna come over, grab these two. Now this time I only have 1 and a 2, which is perfectly fine. I'm just gonna take the 2, I'm gonna twist that up. Okay, now I'm gonna take this other one over here, same thing, I got 3, so 1 is gonna be left alone. I'm gonna twist the other one. Okay, so those are done. I'm gonna go back to this other half right here that I had, and same thing, divide them in half, twist them first. So you always divide in half, twist, divide in half, twist, divide in half, twist. Grab these, divide these in half, twist. Again, try to make sure they're not twisting around each other. Okay, divide in half again. I got 2 on one side, 2 on the other side. Keeping them nice and tight, not loose. Loose is where you lose points for craftsmanship. This should be a nice tight weave. That one's done. I got this last little section right here. Okay, I got 5, so 3 on one side, 3 on the other side. I'm going to twist. And they twist together, not around one of them. Okay, I'm going to twist these 2, keeping that weave tight. Coming over, I have 3, so I'm going to leave 1 alone. Got 2 left, I'm going to twist those. And this one part is done. I'm going to kind of bring it up here so you can see it. So everything gets twisted until there's just 1 left. Okay, I didn't do this one at all because that was the first time I split it. So this is one thing of your wire here. So then I would go back and do that. So I'm going to do that on this whole canopy. This is where it does take a while. Once we're done with it, then we start pulling all these branches and giving them a direction, as you will see. And once all the branches are kind of bent and kind of following a pattern, you will be able to see that it will create movement, within your design, and it'll look really cool on that. It just takes a little while to get all these branches done. Because lastly, we're going to snip this off, and you're going to do the same thing, because the root system is basically, the way the canopy is. In terms of how it's laid out. Do not cut any of this off yet. At some point you might, but not right now. Other than that, you just kind of complete the rest of it, and then we'll figure out how you're going to either attach it onto this, or how you're going to, put it onto a frame. So other than that, just let me know if you have any questions on this, and I'll just kind of continue working on this. Thank you for your time.